Hello, once again, Gut Check World. It's Dr. Toker, your friendly neighborhood colorectal surgeon. Welcome. And in the last couple weeks, we've been talking more about the small intestine, the early part of the small intestine, as part of the digestive process. And we spent some time talking about small intestinal bacterial overgrowth and that sort of thing. And we've woven in this concept of the microbiome. The microbiome, simply put, if this is your first week with us, is a diverse group of organisms that are living all over you and all within your intestinal tract and your airway. And if any part of you is exposed to air at any point in time, trust me, it's lined with bacteria. You get this bacteria from the time of your birth. It can be very regional throughout the world. It certainly can be time sensitive. In other words, the modern microbiome looks completely different than it would have 100 years ago, simply because of the chemicals in our lives. There's a lot of concern about modern glyphosate, other inflammatory molecules, and not to be politically incorrect, but the COVID vaccine seems to have wiped out entire populations of normal microbiome. So a lot of patients who have long COVID, among the things that's wrong with them, they took a vaccine and they've developed these prolonged symptoms. And when you test their microbiome, they are missing some very, very important bacteria, including Bifidobacterium infantis. And we don't know why. We know you need it, and you've had it, as the word says, infantis, since you were a baby. And it could be gone as a result of modern life. So, where is the microbiome located? Where is it mostly concentrated? What is it doing for you? How can you promote a healthy microbiome? All right, well, you got a microbiome in your mouth, which is actually very different than microbiome in your colon. Okay. You can even take probiotics that you chew to promote mouth microbiome, believe it or not. And people with a healthy mouth microbiome don't have periodontal disease or cavities. So the mouth has a microbiome. Your esophagus does. Your stomach does, although it's not very diverse. There's only a couple of organisms that can live in that kind of environment unless you take an antacid. The upper part of the small intestine, also too harsh for most bacteria, unless you take an antacid. The small bowel, as it travels away from your stomach and closer to the colon, gets more and more bacteria in it. Why? The pH of the fluid becomes less and less acidic, number one. Number two, the contents have less and less oxygen present. So as you go through the normal intestinal filter, you are losing oxygen tension. This is promoting a certain type of microbiome. You are losing acid, again, promoting a certain type of microbiome. And the food is getting broken down into small little fragments that your body can absorb and the microbiome bacteria can absorb. The stuff that you cannot absorb, the microbiome is happy to take over, will chew up and spit out for you very helpful vitamins, cofactors, fatty acids that your body actually needs. This microbiome gives you neurotransmitters so you can think properly. It gives you anti-inflammatories so your stomach doesn't hurt so bad, so you can absorb your nutrients better. Your microbiome is critical. Okay, and we've talked about that in the past. Most of the diversity of the microbiome is going to be actually in your colon. So towards the end of the small bowel and in your colon. If you are missing your colon, the end of your small intestine will take over that function with time. It's called the fecalization, basically, of the small intestine. Gets more qualities like the colon by virtue of, this is God's way of saying you got to have a reservoir for these bacteria. It doesn't happen immediately after surgery, But typically within 1 or 2 years after surgery, the end of your small intestine has all the necessary microbiome components. That way you can function normally, which is why you can live without a colon, even though that's where most of the bacteria live. Okay. Now, you want to maintain as diverse of a microbiome as humanly possible. And so the big emphasis of the program and a lot of the discussions that I will have are on this particular topic. And it's something a lot of people don't pay attention to. A lot of people like to think that one supplement is going to get you there, right? They want to think that one probiotic will get you there, one herbal supplement will get you there, or whatever. And the answer is it's never one. It's too complicated for that. Supplements can definitely help fill in the gaps when your diet's not quite getting you there. And the modern diet, let's face it, is not getting you there. So you probably do need supplements. But I would just tell you to caution when you see a lot of things on social media and the answer is always this one supplement. That's a answer to part of your problem, maybe, but that's not going to be the answer. And modern social media has a lot of that. I think to clear the confusion, a lot of people don't realize there's a reason you don't see a lot of doctors on social media. One, we're scared of being sued, which is why I'm going to say, I'm take this opportunity right now. I'm not your doctor right now. It's like I'm giving you nutritional advice. And this does not qualify as a patient interaction. In fact, my malpractice insurance does not cover any online activities. I have to have a separate liability insurance for anything I say online because it's not medical advice. Please don't misconstrue it as such. It's one reason doctors don't want to talk online. They don't want people to misunderstand. That's one reason. The second reason is it takes a lot of time, like it takes a lot of effort, and therefore it costs a lot of money. Now, you can get paid as a housewife talking about cleaners around the house that are safe for your baby. If enough people watch that video, you will receive money from the social media platforms. And you will receive money from sponsors, and they'll give you discount codes and links with which if people buy those products, you will get a percentage of those products. And that's how a lot of people can afford in this modern economy to be stay-at-home moms. So I'm not knocking that because I love the stay-at-home mom concept. I think it's important for our children. Having said that, a doctor cannot do that because our expertise involves a lot of bodily function, and all of those concepts are banned online for monetization. So I've had some videos that have been seen millions of times, and I mean millions of times. I have not made one penny from any social media platform. I've got 163,000 followers on Instagram, not a penny. My YouTube channel has been, I mean, hundreds of thousands of hours have been watched. I have 3,000 or 4,000 followers, hundreds of thousands of hours watched. Not a buckus. I don't get paid for any of that. I qualify, and they always say I qualify because the numbers of people, my content doesn't qualify. Why? Because my expertise involves the word rectum. I got shadow banned for 6 months before I could figure out I can't type in the word rectum anywhere, which is why we always use ethical. The coloethical surgeon is what we type out typically in a lot of the subcaptions because the word rectal will ban me and those videos don't get disseminated. I know it's crazy. Anyway, so this is why you won't see a lot of doctors giving advice because it's too expensive. Now, they may be like me and choose to have an online platform like a subscription. I'll be honest, it takes between 1,000 and 1,500 people on this subscription at any given time to pay the overhead. And I don't have that many subscribers. So at some point in time, the juice may not be worth the squeeze. In the meantime, I do help promote products. I help develop products. I sit on medical boards, and then I promote those products. So there's two or three things that I promote as a result, because those companies support me, and that allows me to bring you this content for very little money. And a lot of it is free, and then the $7 a month that you're paying for the subscription. Thank you very much for doing so. Tell all your friends, please, please. That way I can continue to provide the platform. Anyway, okay. So now, having said all of that, that's why you don't hear from doctors. Let me give you a rundown, and this will be a common themed rundown that I will do pretty frequently. Ways to improve your gut health. Get out a pen and pencil. I will say it again. Repetition is the key to learning. So let's repeat this once again. Number one, you want to eat as wide a variety of fruits and vegetables as you can. This is the weak point of carnivore. Fruits and veggies have their own microbiome, and this microbiome belongs in your body. So raw fruits and veggies that you wash enough to get the dirt off of them. Consume those if you can. Try to make sure they've not been sprayed with something weird. And try to make sure, and especially I want you to do organic, but some organic fertilizers are actually manure, which means there could be bacteria on there. So you do want to wash them. Okay. Gently wash without destroying the microbiome. Okay. So do that as much as you can. That helps you. Include a probiotic. Okay, grab your favorite that doesn't upset your stomach, that you like, that you think helps you. That's awesome. I love it. Probiotic, fermented foods, whether it's yogurt or sauerkraut, kombucha, all of those things help promote your microbiome and serve as really good probiotics. Consume a prebiotic. This is fiber, soluble fiber. Most of that is going to come from roots and certain fruits and vegetables. I'm a big proponent of kiwi fruit because it helps with constipation, but you can get your prebiotic fiber from chicory root, beets, artichokes, bananas if you want to. These things all have prebiotics. Avoid processed foods, even the ones with the cute little cartoons on there that say they're good for you. Here's my example, because I can't cook with it anymore. And this is gluten-free, which is why I bought it. It's got all the little cute little cartoons on it. And the reason I can't use it anymore is because of what they've added to it has taken it from an organic product to one that is an inflammatory mess. What a bummer. So be cautious. Read labels. The fewer ingredients as possible, the more you can make it yourself is important. Eat foods that are rich in polyphenols. Again, that's colorful plants, not necessarily the green, but we're talking about the reds, the yellows, the purples. Those colors are in a category of molecule called a polyphenol, and the microbiome loves those, turns those things into important vitamins and cofactors and anti-inflammatory substances. For you, it helps promote a diverse microbiome. If you are one of those people that cannot tolerate fruits and veggies, then get the powders, because I am very convinced that the problem comes down to the non-digestibles in a fruit and vegetable, the cellulose. So get a freeze-dry powder. It won't have any fiber in it, but it'll have those polyphenols. That'll be good for you. Reduce sugar. Granulated sugar is an inflammatory. Worse than granulated sugar is going to be high fructose corn syrup. Don't do that. Do your best to just taste the natural sweetness of foods without adding stuff to it. I'm a sugarholic. Hi, my name is Anna. I'm addicted to sugar. It is 4 times more addicting than cocaine, if you can believe that. I've never done cocaine, but Alpha Show is addicted to sugar, and it takes a while to get those sugar shakes out of you when you really want something sweet. But it is interesting how sweet real fruits and veggies are when you're no longer adding sugar to your life. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sleep deprivation is damaging actually to your microbiome because adrenaline and corticosteroids, because of stress, are damaging to the microbiome. Get enough exercise. Avoid antibiotics. And it's not just antibiotics that you would be consuming from the doctor, but it can be antimicrobials that they feed to livestock, chicken, that winds up in your eggs, it winds up in the meat, beef, all these commercial animal products. A lot of them are being fed hormones. So use small farmers, no hormones, no antibiotics. Those should be the things that you're kind of looking for. You also try to limit how many antimicrobial soaps you use because that is ruining your microbiome as well. Artificial sweeteners, especially the sugar alcohols, are antimicrobial. So if you're doing a lot of sugar-free stuff to avoid the sugar and the high fructose corn syrup, you might be damaging your gut, giving yourself gut bloat. So erythritol, xylitol. They add those to stevia and monk fruit and allulose. So and these are considered low calorie or calorie free organic natural sweeteners. And they throw erythritol in there, which is also organic. That's a natural substance, but it's also antimicrobial in its nature. So just be cautious about those things and read labels. Okay. And you'll hear me say that a million times over and over again. And I hope you learned something this week and join us in the Signal app. If you have any questions, you can always pipe in. Laugh at my jokes if I ever pose a joke. Don't be offended if I post a butt meme or a rectal meme. What good is it to be a colorectal surgeon if I can't tell the occasional butt joke? And I will never usually tell my own. I will only post something from someone else. I might tell my own. Every now and then I will, but I try to keep it on the up and up. Not too much, not too much poo humor if I can help it. All right, so we'll see you guys next week.